Right now, a Hawaii man's death-defying vacation.
His latest ski trip nearly became his last, but sheer will helped him survive a night in the snow. KITV4's Brenton Awa has his harrowing story.
It's got the most challenging terrain.
Toby Kravit is 72 years old. He's been skiing for 35 of those. Kravit doesn't plan on quitting anytime soon, even though his last trip left him in the hospital.
I'm going at a breakneck speed downhill, and boom. I went into a gully and my skis rammed into the embankment on the other side.
Kravit was already tempting fate. Poor weather had just rolled into one of his favorite ski slopes in New Zealand. But instead of staying in the lodge, he chose the snow. One more run.
I rolled over and I looked at my boot, and my left boot is pointing towards my leg a little bit. And it doesn't go into that position normally.
I don't want you to move the whole leg though.
Both legs were broken and Kravit was miles from help. But just before sunset, he saw a helicopter.
And I grabbed my poles and I was waving them. And the helicopter didn't see me. And I knew at that point I was in for the night.
Death initially clouded Kravit's mind, but his gut told him that he could make it despite the freezing temperature. Kravit went into survival mode.
I'm going to have to stay awake. I'm going to be here all night, and I'm going to have to stay awake. And I can't let myself go asleep, and I'm going to have to keep my blood moving. 100 times.
Kravit did sets of made-up exercises, 100 reps of clapping, hugging, and hitting his legs all night.
I just knew that I had to keep doing what I was doing to stay alive.
After 17 hours, help flew in.
I was waving my poles, and he came beelining right towards me. I'm thinking I was a very fortunate man.
And that was Brenton with that story. Now, Kravit was able to finally return to Hawaii last week. He'll be in rehab for at least another 3 weeks before being reevaluated by his doctor. And he does plan on someday skiing that same mountain in New Zealand.
What an incredible story of survival, and to have the, presence of mind to do those exercises. I think so many of us would just have fallen asleep.
Right. Amazing story.
Wonderful to see him in great health there, and wishes for a speedy recovery.